Let me tell you a story. A story of pain, suffering, and loss. A story that has been my reality for the last 24 hours. But to understand truly what happened, we need to go back to the very beginning. On this server, I have everything I could ever need. Money, fame, and most importantly, 20 hearts. But there is one thing I don't have, and that's a secret base. So, me and my friend HauntedPear set out to construct the best base that this server had ever seen. On this server, you can buy enchanted books with XP, which means if you can get enough XP, then you can get the best armor and weapons in the game. So, a stable supply of XP is vital. Most players use custom spawners to get XP as fast as possible, but we weren't most players. We wanted to make an armadillo XP farm, considered the most powerful farm in Minecraft. It functions by spawning silverfish after splashing armadillos with infestation and forcing them to take consistent damage. They will never die as they are forced into their shells by a zombie, and this farm can get you 50 levels in 3 minutes. Me and HauntedPear set out to begin construction on the farm. We found a couple of armadillos in a random savanna biome on the server, and after bringing them underground, absolutely casualty free, we began to build the actual farm. After about an hour and a half, it was finally finished, and we were ready to put the armadillos into their chambers. We decided to start with only one to test out the farm, and we got it down into position fine. It was surviving on the campfire, and everything seemed to be working. That is, until we realized that infestation potions don't work on this server. So, 2 hours of our lives just went down the drain. Now we were mad and bored, a dangerous combination. We decided it would be fun to go looking for kills at the stronghold, one of the biggest points of interest for dangerous players. And before we could even locate each other, I was attacked. This was bad. I had absolutely no gear and was basically useless in fights. So we decided that as we didn't have the wherewithal to re-gear at our own base, we would find and raid someone else's. We teleported somewhere random on the server, but before we could meet up, I saw some particles, which meant someone was invisible. Expecting them to be bad, I hit them off a cliff, but it didn't kill them, and by this point they had equipped their enchanted diamond armor. This is a very uninteresting fight to watch, as all you can see is me running around like a headless chicken while I gradually lose my HP and eventually perish. However, it wasn't all bad. A couple of minutes later, my teammate, HauntedPear, managed to locate the player that killed me and avenge my death. He won back my heart, all my gear, and some extra enchanted diamond armor, all of which is great. However, after that, I was kind of done with the server for the day, so I logged off. I came back the next morning to find that we had a fancy new auto brewer in our base, which automatically brewed us fire resistance at the click of a button. Together we also built a speed and strength 2 auto brewer, so we could have unlimited combat potions. I also gained enough XP to get max gear once again, and we decided it was time to fight. We went back to the stronghold, the place where I had died previously. This time we managed to locate each other and entered the stronghold together. However, what we found inside shocked us. A humongous collection of players controlled the hold, and on our arrival, they began to attack. I was mostly left to myself. mostly because of my high heart count, but poor HauntedPear on 8 hearts got targeted. After 8 people rained crits on him for a while, his helmet eventually broke, and he died. The players left, and soon, I was the only person in the stronghold. But I couldn't give up now. I needed revenge. Not once had I won a fight. Every time I attacked someone, I was embarrassed. But that all stopped now. I was done with losing. I was ready to win. Soon enough, my target showed up. He dropped into the stronghold and I instigated the combat. It was a fair 1v1, and I wasn't about to lose. Mysterious figures stood above me. Their motives dripped with malice, and their armor reeked of power. This was a pivotal moment in the story. I couldn't win a fight against these players, but I only had 2 pearls left. I would have to pearl perfectly to escape the hold. But, as I missed, I realized all I could do was run. The players attacked me mercilessly, and it seemed hopeless. But I wasn't just going to lay down and die. I was going to fight. I was going to fight to the last shred of durability in my armor. I was going to fight to the last golden apple in my hotbar. I was going to fight until my inventory was empty of potions. And then, I was going to fight some more. Because, in no world, was I giving up. That's the story of how I lost everything in 24 hours. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe so you can see the next one as well. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.